Hi everyone, this is my Module 3 Inquiry Lab video for our Science Curriculum and Reform class. So before I got started kind of going through this lab, I just wanted to review the 5 different areas or features of inquiry learning that we were kind of looking at here, and that being engaging in the scientifically oriented question, giving priority to evidence, formulating explanations from the evidence, evaluating the explanations from alternate evidence, and communicating and justifying explanations. And I kind of structured my presentation to match those 5 different areas. So I'll start with a scientifically oriented question. Obviously here our question was, how can we filter water to model the Earth's method of infiltration? And this was definitely a teacher-guided question if we're looking at that continuum of teacher-guided to learner-centered. So the next step is to give priority to evidence. And for me in this case, as was just kind of described in the videos we watched about this, I decided to research kind of the infiltration system of the Earth first, and I found this model and did some more research then to come up with kind of 5 different main layers, being that humus, the organic topsoil, then the topsoil, the subsoil, the fragmented rock or parent material, and then the bedrock. So I took the supplies we were given and modeled them off of kind of these 5 different areas that I found. And I did a couple different experiments with this. I actually did 4. There's only 3 of them here. I forgot to get a video of the 4th one, but I started with this on the left, where I had the cheesecloth, and then the alum, and then the charcoal, and then the sand and the gravel. And then I decided, and the second time I was going to do it, I switched the charcoal and the gravel, and I also added a filter under the alum. And I didn't like that as much. So then I went back and I kept the filter, but I switched the charcoal and the gravel back. And I'm going to go forward here and show you kind of the pictures of my 4 results, starting with my very first one on the left there and kind of moving across. I think my best results were number 3 here, this one here where I had the cheesecloth and then the alum, then the charcoal, then that little filter, then the sand, and then the gravel. In each of these, I still had some different particles left over, and it still wasn't completely clear, but I definitely think that the order in the most case here with the alum, charcoal, sand, and gravel is what I was looking for, the best option in number 3. Now, formulating explanations here, this was definitely learner self-directed. I even did some research, and it was very difficult for me to find how some of these different household items might correlate to an infiltration system. So the last 2 parts of the inquiry process, evaluating the explanations in light of alternatives. To get alternatives here is kind of to compare all the different options I had, maybe to discuss with other groups, and to reference resources regarding infiltration. And that was a fairly learner self-directed process in this. I wouldn't say it's fully learner self-directed. The teacher might provide some options, but in general, it's learner self-directed. And then the last step in that inquiry process is to communicate and justify explanations. And that's what we're doing in this video right here to kind of talk through our explanations. And I would say that is fairly teacher-guided. And I'm going to jump here to this model. And I would say that's fairly teacher-guided because we were told to do a video, but not necessarily this is test slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. This is exactly what it looks like. So here's kind of an overview of the where I put these different things on that, maybe that inquiry continuum between teacher-guided and learner self-directed. And I would say overall, this is a very fairly learner self-directed inquiry lab in the case that we don't give them all the information up front. We just give them the supplies and we tell them to go ahead and try it out. Here are my resources. Thanks for watching my video.